Anyone who's followed the Dallas Cowboys for a long time knows very well that contract sagas in the offseason often turn into true public nightmares. Our recent history is full of disputes that drag the team's environment into absolute chaos. How can we forget the long and exhausting sagas involving Dak Prescott's contract renewals in previous years, or even the extreme strain that culminated in the bombshell trade of Micah Parsons last year after unsustainable financial impasses? Every time the Dallas Cowboys apply a franchise tag or stall long-term negotiations, the national media immediately sows chaos on the sidelines, and the fans start holding their breath, expecting the worst possible outcome. Traditionally, contract dissatisfaction tends to generate strikes, heavy absences from mandatory training, and a disturbing silence behind the scenes at the Star. The historical weight of wearing the lone star carries immense pressure, where any spark becomes a gigantic wildfire on news channels and destroys the team's focus even before the trips to training camp in Oxnard. There was a real fear that the internal turmoil narrative would repeat itself now with our star wide receiver, creating yet another of those classic distractions that drain the team's energy and sabotage the franchise's title chances. Our history has taught us to fear the ghost of aggressive salary disputes for years. Block 2. Current situation. The reality that unfolded on the first day of the mandatory minicamp, however, completely broke this historical cycle of chaos in Dallas. The current situation is one of absolute relief and total focus on American football, with our wide receiver George Pickens showing up in an extremely professional manner and wearing the uniform with the rest of the team. After choosing to follow his agent's advice and stay out of voluntary activities, raising rumors of a possible strike, Pickens appeared focused on Frisco and put a definitive end to the speculation. He officially signed his non-exclusive franchise tag and guaranteed that he will be present at every stage of the preparation for the regular season. The atmosphere at the Star changed instantly when he stepped onto the field to perform individual drills and specific physical transition work. In addition, quarterback Dak Prescott's leadership behind the scenes was the crucial factor in keeping the group united. Dak took responsibility, invited the receiver to train privately, and ensured that the focus remained on winning. The quarterback himself also deflected media alarms about a supposed physical discomfort, training hard even with a compression sleeve on his left knee. The atmosphere at AT&T Stadium and on the training fields exudes mutual commitment, something very rare to see in Dallas when an elite athlete is playing under the transition year of the tag. Block 3. Differences. The fundamental differences between George Pickens' current behavior and his rebellious attitudes of the recent past are clear and exemplify surprising maturity. While other stars opted to force trades or accept heavy fines for missing mandatory commitments, Pickens demonstrated that he learned a lot from the mistakes he made during his time with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He chose to shield the Cowboys' locker room and publicly stated that his exclusive focus is on football, leaving finances entirely in the hands of his agent, David Mulugheta. The frank conversation the receiver had with owner Jerry Jones and coach Brian Schottenheimer established a line of mutual respect that avoided any kind of public friction or sulking on social media. Another stark difference is on the offensive line. Unlike last year when the coaching staff had to improvise with Tyler Smith on the left and TJ Bass in the middle because the protection was collapsing with Nate Thomas, today, rookie Tyler Guyton assumes absolute protagonism at the left tackle position, receiving full support without facing real threats from competition. There's a clarity of roles and an absence of vanity that breaks the dramatic pattern of the Dallas Cowboys. The team is treating business as business and the field as the field, isolating external noise with an admirable professionalism that we haven't witnessed here in a long time. Block 4. Data. To understand the financial magnitude and technical impact of these decisions, we need to coldly analyze the real data and statistics that shape the Cowboys' planning. George Pickens will play for a fully guaranteed $27.3 million in the 2026 season, an amount that represents almost triple what he earned throughout his entire 4-year rookie contract. This $27.3 million figure has an immediate impact on the team's payroll, but it guarantees the athlete's continued presence, who in 2025 exploded with impressive marks of 93 receptions, 1,429 receiving yards, and 9 touchdowns, earning his first Pro Bowl and All-Pro selections. Meanwhile, on the offensive line, training data reveals that the supposed left tackle competition is a media illusion. Rookie Tyler Guyton received all the repetitions with the first team, while Nate Thomas and Drew Shelton were moved to train on the right side with the second unit, focusing strictly on cross-training development as swing tackles. On defense, the rehabilitation numbers are also accurate. Pass rusher Donovan Ezerwaku recovered from surgery, returned to pushing sleds and focusing on individual drills after recording 2 consistent sacks last season, proving he's ready for the start of training camp in Oxnard at the end of next month. Block 5. Opinion. In my honest opinion, as a fan who lives and breathes the Dallas Cowboys, George Pickens' mature attitude and Dak Prescott's active leadership represent the best possible news for our championship aspirations. I confess I didn't expect such a smooth outcome, given the receiver's explosive history, but he proved to be focused on building a winning legacy above all else. The coaching staff hit the nail on the head by aligning expectations directly with the player before the draft, eliminating any inconsistent trade rumors and demonstrating his value within Brian Schottenheimer's scheme. For me, there's a tactical detail that almost no one noticed and deserves highlighting. The fact that Tyler Guyton isn't sharing repetitions with anyone on the left side signals that the front office blindly trusts his potential to protect Dak's blind side, without creating artificial competition that would shake the confidence of a promising rookie. Similarly, seeing young DeMarvion Overshown slated to take on the green dot mantle as a center linebacker and brain of our defense fills me with pride and optimism. We are finally valuing young talent and building a tough mentality, focused on winning games through physicality and teamwork, without bowing to the contractual dramas that the media tries to force down America's team's throat. Block 6. Possible future. Looking ahead, the possible scenarios unfolding for the Dallas Cowboys' future in the 2026 season and beyond are fascinating. If George Pickens maintains this focused mentality and repeats his all-pro level overwhelming performance in Schottenheimer's offense, the conversation will drastically change in 2027, transforming into a real pay me what I deserve or trade me scenario where he will have maximum financial leverage. In the short term, the contractual calm ensures a clean and focused training camp for Oxnard, allowing the fine-tuning between Dak, Pickens, and CeeDee Lamb to reach its technical peak to crush rivals in the NFC East. If the offensive line consolidates with Tyler Guyton's athletic development and footwork adjustment, and the defense gains the desired dynamism with Overshown leading the calls from the green dot on his helmet, Dallas will have plenty of ammunition to break the drought and pursue a deep playoff spot. The immediate future depends exclusively on the health and consistency of this young core. The technical ceiling of this team is high enough to directly compete for the top of the conference and silence the national critics. If the young players establish themselves, the Cowboys will be shielded from any frustration and ready to compete on equal footing with any powerhouse in the league. Block 7. Final with expectation. The foundation for a great journey was laid at minicamp, but the real test will begin when the protective pads go up and full contact drills start dictating the pace of the offseason. We are steadily moving towards our goals and are close to a fantastic milestone. We are exactly 605 members away from reaching the incredible goal of 250,000 subscribers on this channel before the official start of the season. If you want to continue receiving accurate behind-the-scenes information, in-depth tactical analysis, and exclusive Dallas Cowboys news without any fluff, click the subscribe button now and activate the notification bell to strengthen our community against our biggest rivals. Remember to also secure your tickets for the year's biggest classics by accessing the link in the description with the code CHAT10 on SeatGeek to get an immediate 10% discount. Now, I leave the golden question for you to answer in the comments section. Will Dak Prescott's locker room leadership and George Pickens' surprising maturity be enough to finally lead the Cowboys back to the Super Bowl, or are we facing yet another offseason illusion? Leave your honest opinion below and let's discuss the future of America's team. Go Cowboys!